Welcome back to another episode of Boys in the Zone. I am your host, EJ Savage, and if you are a first time listener or if you're a regular, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. So, a couple different things. Firstly, Dak's statement that's been receiving a little bit of buzz on social media. Let me pull that up real quick for us. Right there. So, Todd Archer said this. Um, Dak actually said this during his training or youth camp when discussing Mike McCarthy's impact on the passing game. They know where the hell to be, why to be, and when they're getting looked at. There's going to be a big jump. I think we won't have all the tipped interceptions this year, and I agree. I mean, you think about this. So a couple different things. So, firstly, Dak has never, ever been an interception guy, like a high interception guy. I think that he's actually in the top 10 all time for protecting the ball as far as that goes. And then, secondly, you got to think about all the young receivers that were playing significant time that weren't from seasons past. I mean, you're talking about two rookie tight ends from Hendershot and Ferguson that were getting a lot of time. You're talking about Noah Brown, um, Houston. Um, who else was there? Tolbert. Um, you're talking about a hobbled Michael Gallup. So many different things as far as receivers go, and just tipped balls and just randomness. Truthfully, a lot of times people don't understand how they just look at the stats and say, "Oh, this guy he threw three interceptions last week. He sucks." When in reality, he threw one bad interception, and two of them were tipped balls by a linebacker or a defensive lineman batted the ball at the line of scrimmage, and something happened. So a lot of people that are just stat watching have the wrong story. I mean, Dak Prescott did throw some very bad interceptions. I will not discount that, but at the same time, he's right. I mean, you're talking about this Mike McCarthy system that's going to get him in quick hitting plays, get him in rhythm, and just allow him to dissect the defense easier and just get his guys on the same page, not all those option routes. I think it's just going to work wonders, and I'm excited for Dak. I'm excited for Ceedee Lamb, especially because this is going to be the first season that he really has Dak and under the belt where he's the man, and Dak could probably be healthy for the entire season. So we'll see that, you know. I'm excited about that. And segueing into CD Lamb, I want to talk about this tweet that I saw um, from our boy Law Nation. So top 10 wide receivers overall in Madden this upcoming year. So Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, and AJ Brown. I think that those seven players you can rate above CD Lamb, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. Um, Now, where I disagree is DeAndre Hopkins. Um, he's been very injured, and truthfully, I don't know that he's been. I don't know that the last two seasons he's really been that great to be ranked a 93. I mean, a 93 is very, very good. And no shame or no hate on DeAndre Hopkins. He's a very, very good receiver still to this day. However, I don't know that he's as good as CeeDee Lamb is right now. Terry McLaurin, I think that Terry McLaurin is very underrated. I'm always defending him on Twitter and YouTube comments, etc. But I don't know that I would put him above CD. And then Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper at a 91 still. And Amari Cooper had a lot of just bad drops last year and critical points in games. I watched, I think, four or five Browns games all the way through, you know. So Amari Cooper's still a very, very good receiver. I remember that Thursday nighter. He just went completely off and really helped the Browns that game. But at the same time, I mean, you're talking about CeeDee Lamb, an upcoming star that's really solidifying himself as one of the better all around receivers. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's not afraid to take a hit over the middle. You're talking about a guy that has yak ability. He's can work from the inside out, shifty in the open field, has good hands, can run most routes in the route tree. I mean, CeeDee Lamb is very, very good, and I'm completely surprised that he's not in the wide receivers, the top 10 wide receivers for Madden. But ultimately, it's not surprising. These games, they have their own biases too. I mean, so we'll see. The Madden rankings always get stirred up after a couple weeks, anyways. So I am interested to see the QB's list as well, and some of those other players as well. So the third thing I wanted to talk about, and let me pull this back up, is this tweet by Jane Slater. So I can confirm multiple reports from the Cowboys running back Tony Pollard is expected to play on the 10.1 million franchise tag signed back in March. Interestingly enough, when I asked about how far apart both sides were, a source tells me there was an extensive discussion about a long-term deal. So as far as how I'm perceiving what she's saying right there, it just doesn't seem like the Cowboys were all that interested in getting Tony Pollard's deal, long term deal done, unless it was just for a very team bargain deal, which is kind of indicative of what I was basically saying early in the offseason. I said I wouldn't sign Pollard to a long term contract. I think that the running back position is being incredibly devalued in today's game. I think that you see it nowadays more than ever that these college kids are going to come in and they can do a lot of the same things that your veterans can do. It's not a very big drop off, if any, and you can save a lot of money. Secondly, um, I just think that I just think that Tony Pollard is he's a good running back, but he's not the, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I don't think that he's that elite running back that you can kind of warrant, okay, hey, let's pay this guy because he's that special. Tony Pollard, to me, he isn't a Hall of Fame talent, and that's no shade on TP. I think he's very good, and I'm excited to see what he can do without having to share the carries with Zeke. But I do think that it's interesting enough that that's what they think. And then thirdly, I think that they just see the writing on the wall with the other players, with Parsons, with Ceedee, with Diggs. Throw in Terrence Steele in there. I mean, there's just so many other guys you have to pay. What do you do with Dak? Do you extend him long term? What? So there's just so many different questions that to pay Tony Pollard, and truthfully, in my opinion, to pay Tony Pollard even this year, the 10.1 million is a lot. But I do see, I mean, the Cowboys are a team that's going to utilize their franchise tag. We've seen it with Dalton Schultz, Dak Prescott, Des Bryant, Demarcus Lawrence. So many different players, so many different examples of that. But overall, I didn't expect Tony Pollard to get this deal done anyways. So this is just that confirmation. So yeah, and then the last thing that I wanted to talk about just a little bit was training camp. So there's some really good training camp battles that you guys should be on the lookout for. So who gets that fourth defensive tackle spot? Is it Gallimore or is it going to be Bohanna? Who gets that last kind of corner spot? You're talking about C.J. Goodwin, Eric Scott Jr. You're talking about possibly Israel Mukwamu, Kelvin Joseph. So those guys are going to be battling it out there. The sixth wide receiver spot, who's going to get that? Is it going to be Simi? I kind of predicted that earlier on Twitter, which if you're not following my Twitter, it's a must follow. Go ahead and follow that, please. Um, but all of those different positions are extremely, you know, oriented on training camp and who comes out impressing the coaches, impressing the people that are really drilled in and insightful about Cowboys. And then lastly, the running back position. What happens there? I mean, you're talking about Rojo, Deuce Vaughn, Malik Davis. There's a lot of different runners in that group, and we're gonna see. So I'm excited to get some training camp content out. I have somebody that's gonna be sending me some videos from there, and hopefully some player interviews. And yeah, I'm just really excited for that. So if you are not yet, please subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and follow my Twitter, boys in the letter N, the zone. It's right over there to the right of your screen. And leave a like and a comment on the video. It really helps me. It helps with the algorithms and stuff. And that's all I really have. I didn't want to drop a video last week just because I felt like the news was so dry, and I just don't want to drop stuff just for the sake of dropping it. But training camp's coming up, and I'm really excited about dropping some new videos and just discussing some of those camp battles and all those things with you guys. So if you liked the video, please, please, please subscribe. And yeah, just thanks for watching. Bye.